Hi traders, is Mr. Golden is on the line. Well, let's start the second day of our challenge, where our task is to turn $1,000 into $10,000 within the 7 days. Some fluctuations are possible, because not every day is remarkable, with great opportunities in the market, but I will try to cope as soon as possible, if, of course, the market will support it. Okay, in the last session we already earned $173 plus our starting deposit of $1,000. We risked 20% of our deposit on the deal. Why such a big risk? Because this is an experimental format. It doesn't make sense for me to make this challenge somehow long. I just want to show you that it is really possible to make a profit in such a short period of time, and this profit can be quite significant for you. Using just a few tools and personalities, that's all you'll need. First of all, as we open the graphs, we look at the news calendar. Today we already see that absolutely all the news that had a red influence, except for this news, they have already worked. Accordingly, the market can be considered clean, calm, and without manipulation, because all this has already happened and introduced certain contextual changes in the market price and in the price of the asset. So what will we need to trade today? Today we will trade on the RSI indicator. And of course, let's not forget about the logic of market delivery in general. We will analyze on a 15-minute time frame. We will implement short-term positions, up to 10 minutes of execution. After all, if we sell on the 15-minute RSI, we do not expect the position to run longer than 15 minutes. Okay, our task is to find an asset that will be at the first level, oversold or overbought, and to enter the opposite direction. I mean, as in this case, the asset was resold, and we get a sharp long impulse, on which we could theoretically make money. These are the situations we will deal with. Also, the reverse side. The asset is oversold, and we have a short downward movement after the indicator left the level 70. Okay, let's start with the main assets. This is our EUR, USD. Let's see what's there. Here we have a solid lateral movement. The asset is not oversold and not overbought. Actually moves in a lateral range. I am not interested in it to trade. Okay, let's look at AUD-CAD. It is oversold, but there was already a reaction to the 15-minute imbalance. We are late here. Here the situation has already worked itself out. Yes, we look here. We have an opportunity here, a pretty good one. The asset is oversold. You can sell it for 3 minutes up. Waiting for a pullback, and let's go. 3 minutes long position in order to capture this inefficiency. The indicator is oversold. Let's see how it works for us. For those who want more practical examples, you will find results, signals, and useful materials in our Telegram channel. Check it out. The link is below the video. Yes, we have 20 seconds left until the end of practice. As we can see, we are treading on the entry point. However, the plan is still relevant. Very good liquidity is higher. I think this deal will be positive, and you can immediately open another one for 30 minutes up. Because the indicator is still oversold, let's wait for the first signal to finish. The first signal closes in profit. Let's open a 15-minute time frame. As you can see, the asset has been oversold. He is now trying to get out of this zone. Accordingly, our priority, according to market logic, is the formation of a fair value gap of 15 minutes as a potential target for the asset. From the point of view of 5 minutes, also an untested fair value gap. And from the point of view of the 1-minute time frame, we already have the beginnings of a long idea, testing fair value gap and continuation of movement. According to the market algorithm for this zone, let's mark this. The question is whether I gave the asset to implement this plan in too little time. Let's see. In theory, below makes no sense, because here we already have a balance zone. Cool. Let's look at the performance of this position. There are 20 seconds left until the end of practice. The question is whether the price will simply have enough time to implement this plan. Now the 1-minute candle will change, and if there is an impulse, it will be good. It will be exactly as I wanted. If not, I will continue with this idea, only according to martingale. That is, we will give the asset another chance, but already for 4 minutes. Here we have a minus. Let's see in context if anything has changed. The context has not changed. Let's go for martingale 2 places up for 4 minutes. By the way, you can find all the signals I show in detail here on our Telegram channel. The link is in the description below this video. Go there and see for yourself. There are 20 seconds left until this position is completed. As you can see, a great response according to our plan, which led us to this inefficiency, which was our goal. Yep, we are waiting for the completion of practice. $1,590 is now our deposit. Let's include a 15-minute time frame for this asset to review again. Everything, as I said, oversold, inefficiency, boom, long movement. Okay, yes, we can already increase the risk. Our balance has increased significantly. Now our exposure will be $320 per trade. And let's maybe make it more interesting and try to make on the second day just the double of the starting deposit. I think it will be more interesting for me and for you. Okay, let's move on to finding our currency pair in order to realize a position. Yes, oversold, but there was already a reaction. Let's look at smaller time frames. Well, it's a moot point. I'll just leave it now in the list, that is, in the saved. Maybe we will return to it. Here is a wonderful one. It was a great pattern. Oversold, inefficiency, boom, short movement. What about the 1-hour time frame? Well, too low actually. Too low to implement at the moment. Unless because of the pullback. It's risky for me, despite the fact that our rate will be quite high. Yes, below. Profitability is no longer there. There is no point in watching. Okay, let's return to the primary assets and run through them again briefly. Yes, here we had oversold and short movement. Okay, we won't be able to implement anymore. This position, Euro, Swiss franc looks not bad actually. What do we have time for? Okay, let's keep it clean. Now, we'll come back to it. Yes, Euro USD also contextually nothing changes. We have the same situation here. Same situation. CAD JPY has not reached the level of oversold. Accordingly, it will not be possible to implement anything on it yet. Here is a good position. It can be implemented. Let's implement it for 8 minutes. Let's go. Okay, let's start. We have already entered into an agreement. Let's find out again what happened here. First, a signal that the asset is oversold. Present, level below the level 30. That is, our line is below the level 30. Secondly, what do we have here? We have contextual information in the form of this inefficiency of the 15-minute time frame. That is, a fair value gap of 15-minute value. At 5 minutes, we have a long-term reaction, which actually will be better visible from M1 and actually effectively changes our market structure and turns it into a long one. Potential for long movement. All these red candles, which move downwards with such a compressive low volatility movement. The expiration time is 8 minutes. Why? Because first of all, it can be a setback to this inefficiency before continuing the movement. However, the main task now is that the price does not rise in the first 3 minutes of execution into this inefficiency and did not give the shorts a downward impulse. However, this is the market. It will be as it will be. Let's look at the implementation and talk after the implementation of this position. If you have any questions about this strategy, feel free to write to us on Telegram. We actively communicate there, discussing deals and sharing our experience. There are 20 seconds left until we finish practicing our position. As we can see, the deal is working great. They actually entered and there was not even a pullback against our position. Now we have 145 points. Great practice, just like in the guide. Everything according to the methodology, so to speak. What do we get? We actually get the double of our starting balance in 2 trading days, using what I think are 6 positions in total. 6 positions to make the double of the starting balance. Great result. Very well done. As I said earlier, everything is very simple. We are looking for divergence on the RSI indicator, find inefficiency on the chart, and enter the position. That's it. Cool. Let's still try to finish up to $2,000, despite the fact that the market is working really well now. We have the same strategy, still the same one. We are looking for an asset, for a divergence, and we are entering a position. All right, your CHF already gone. Your USD didn't lead to anything. GBP, CHF, already gave a reaction. Let's see. Well, what do we have here? What kind of your GBP potential do we have here? Let's open a 1-hour time frame. The potential is good, but getting a pullback candle during a short movement is quite possible. Let's add this asset to the list of views. We will keep it in our memory. However, for now it is clearly too early to implement a position on it. Okay. We are not interested in over-the-counter pairs at the moment. Great reaction. I look at the indicator. The market is working just fine now. As to whether there will be more positions, maybe here from the point of view of divergence, yes, I think here from the point of view of divergence. Let's look at a shorter time frame, and then I'll describe the idea. Yes, $250. Back to our risk, $250, 1-minute time frame. Well, the probability of getting a pullback is actually high. Here you could enter due to the divergence that I described in my trading methodology. That is, here we have this low, and this low, this low, and this low. As you can see, there is an obvious discrepancy. That is, here our last low is higher than the previous one. Here, on the contrary, our last low is lower than the previous one. Okay, maybe after the pullback it will be possible to implement, but definitely not now. Definitely not now. Okay. Not interesting or interesting? Also divergence. Yes. Here you can implement 6 minutes down. What do we see here and why do we implement this position? Let's draw. It will be clearer. Here, focus your attention on this high and this high. As you can see, our last one is lower than the previous one. What do we see on the indicator? This high and this high. As you can see, the last one is higher than the previous one, and here we have it lower than the previous one. Accordingly, this is a divergence and a signal that the asset will be sold. That is, go in the short direction. However, the implementation is probably a bit late. However, we still have a level of liquidity in the form of a sell side as a key and potential target for our position. We have an interaction with the balance sheet after which the asset moves quite chaotically, but the chances of continuation are quite high. Okay, let's wait until the practice is over and then we'll talk. If you want to see examples of such trades in real time, subscribe to our Telegram channel. I share signals and trading results there regularly. Well, our deal closed in the red again. As I told you, the indicator indicated a divergence at these levels, and the position worked out perfectly. Pretty easy strategy, right? Great result, team. $1,000 in 1 day using RSI and market logic. I repeat myself once again. Use RSI deviation and look for a fair value gap at 15 minutes to implement these positions. Situations like this happen literally every half hour. You will definitely find this position on one of the assets. My challenge continues. My goal is $10,000. A little less than $8,000 remains to be earned to complete the final result. I believe that the 2 trading days were quite productive, and you will find it informative. Mr. Golden was on the line. See you. By the way, we also have a Telegram channel where you'll find a lot of valuable information regarding trading. Through this channel, we provide access to our tools, the Golden Bot powered by AI, which delivers 50 to 100 signals per day with an accuracy of approximately 80% plus. A VIP channel where you'll not only receive signals but also detailed analysis of each trade, along with exclusive educational materials. Additionally, we have a premium channel where our core team offers support to help individuals become independent, successful traders. If you prefer not to learn or trade yourself, you can join copy trading and automatically copy our trades. In general, you'll find useful content, and we regularly hold contests and tournaments for our most active subscribers. Subscribe to our Telegram channel, and we wish you good luck and profit.